Alright. Go. Why? Why? Why is that the first thing? Anyway. Hello, welcome to Main Chat Nerd Night. I'm doing something a little bit different today. I'm reading a session recap that was graciously given to us by Flitter, Prudence's player. I haven't read it yet, so we'll see how this goes. Alright, starting up at the top. The party is welcomed into Rurik's home Thorpe. It's a village, but that's okay. Not many people here, thanks to the Stonitis epidemic. That is technically true. The party visits with Rurik's sister. She's on a cot because she caught the disease too. This is gonna be a chore, isn't it?
Yes.
The party
it's
talks.
Amazing.
The party talks with another dwarf of demons and curses. The dwarf suggests meeting Daj, the spherical dwarf. Daj is a... Anyway, warned everyone about Merrick. Hoy gets spooked as fuck when someone recognizes him but doesn't know why. That's true, same character. The party visits the Hall of Monuments. It's full of statues. Yes, it's filled with the petrified forms of the victims of the curse. Yes. Oh boy. Someone coming in is going to have no idea what's going on. Then they move on. They get to the cave where the pantsless high elf shaman Daj lives. I can't disagree with any of that. They talk about the soul-sucking ritual, so the ritual that turns somebody into these petrified forms. And he's stoked. Everyone talks about the soul jar and other stuff. The shaman passes a joint and mind melds with everyone. It's highly suggestive. Ember probably had to take time planning this scene, so I won't go into too much detail about it. Everyone shares thoughts in a much more efficient manner, and the jigsaw puzzle is solved. Just to clarify, what happened was there was a ritual, and everyone's mental processes were all joined together so that they were able to fit the pieces of the puzzle that they'd all individually figured out together, and they just hadn't discussed. Hoyt fails an important saving throw. I legitimately don't remember what saving throw that was.
It's not important, that's okay.
Yeah.
Wisdom save.
Oh, that's right. The party discusses going to Shigun's place so they can host a rave. I guess. They stay the evening in this town, though, so they stayed in Rocktop in the evening. Prudence did some research, so he asked around the town about a dragon that they'd heard about. He gets lucky and gets some information. He uses sending to talk to... I don't think Ranfard is his name. It is Ranfard. Look at that. I get the two mixed up. Ranfard, the adult green dragon, who is close to your destination, so it's close to the Fortemps villa. Ranfard is talkative and offers knowledge, I guess, but he also asks to speak in person, which is a no-no. Zook nopes out because he's afraid of green.
Is not.
It's written down. It's written down here, so obviously it must be true.
Must be canon.
The party heads to the Fortemps estate to help and get help and information. Excuse me. It is 3 days north.
You see my hat?
And the dragon is further north. Prudence gets his portents back, uses them immediately. Hoyd invisibly interrogates the dwarf that spooked him 10 parts ago. These are all numbered, by the way. I'm just not speaking the numbers. And Ember stops being lazy and writes his own recaps in the future. Yes, I will. This is my punishment of having to read through all of that.
You enjoyed it.
So we open the session just as you guys are beginning to set out from Rocktop, from the village, heading northward toward the Fortemps villa. It's a couple of days of travel. I believe you'd be leaving in the probably mid-morning or so, if I recall.
Yeah, that seems right.
all of you have decided and written down your new skill proficiencies thanks to the LSD you were given. It's more like
Shaman Discourse.
Really more like magic mushrooms, but it is what it is. Anyway, is there something that you guys are sort of working on in particular, or are you just trying to get there as quickly as possible? I believe...
I would like to take my time.
Now, if I recall correctly, did you guys have Larasa stay in Rocktop, or is she coming with you to get protection at the estate, at the villa?
I think she'll be joining us to House Fortemps.
Yeah, because our original intent was to bring her brother there. I mean, I suppose we could leave them both in the village, but the original option was to take them to my villa.
That, and I think they'd offer her more protection from Merrick should he come a-calling.
That's true. Merrick, we don't know. Yeah, like, we don't know how unpredictable he may be.
Okay, so it's just how much space is being taken up in the cart. That's all I have to keep track of. So you guys head out. Since you're up in the mountainous terrain, two of you are familiar with this area, so you're able to make pretty good headway. I never actually explicitly asked for an answer. What is your travel speed? Are you traveling quickly at a normal pace, or are you traveling slowly to avoid detection? Quickly obviously has some penalties, normal, but is faster, normal pace, and then slower.
I'm fine with normal.
I'm fine with normal, especially since we have like extra passengers.
And we're also not actively fleeing someone who's chasing us at the moment.
Not yet.
Well, not yet.
That you know of. I mean, what?
Normal.
Alrighty. So, you guys take your first day heading northward. As I mentioned, are you guys working on anything in particular, or is who's sort of keeping watch out as you're traveling?
Seems like Hoyd's doing a pretty good job.
Study this area's predatory cycle.
Zook is going to try and see if he can refine his skills at contact juggling.
Okay, while the cart is in motion?
He's a brave boy.
Okay. So you'll
if he gets really good at it while the cart's moving, he'll be excellent at it if he's stationary.
You'll spend your day doing that.
That's why.
So, Hoyd and Prudence, you're both going to be looking out. Study the area's predatory cycle. Be a little bit more specific. You're looking for wildlife, or...
Wildlife and what scares what.
Okay. So... Okay. Prudence, will you be assisting Hoyd, or will you be making your own roll? Because it's going to be 2 rolls in a row. It's going to be a perception check, and then a nature check to interpret what you saw. Okay, so go ahead and make and then are you proficient in nature, Prudence? Okay, so you can give him assistance on the perception check, but not the nature check. So go ahead and make a perception check with advantage, Hoyd.
Look at that.
Nice.
That's a yes.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a nature check. I'll tell you what you saw after we sort of go over the nature things that you see. Zook, if you wouldn't mind making a...
I see everything, but I have no idea what it means.
Yeah. Zook, if you wouldn't mind making an acrobatics check, please. Rurik, you're looking out for interesting or uncommon ingredients for your potions. If you wouldn't mind making a perception check of your own, please.
26!
26. I'll sort of summarize at the end how this day's going.
Oh, no.
11. Yep, and then Shigun, you'll be driving in navigation. Because you know the
Yeah.
roads. You don't even need to do a check or anything. You just know it because you've been here.
Yeah. I'll obviously keep an eye out for anything unusual, but mostly focused on driving.
Right, more or less, this would be an instance where your passive perception comes into play.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
yes, I do have proficiency of nature if that would make a difference for ingredient hunting. stuff.
I'll say if you were like doing some up close investigation, I would let you swap investigation for nature in this case. But
That's
since
fair.
you're more kind of looking outward, this case it's more perception.
Yeah.
But you're right. Please remind me of your new your new proficiencies. All right, so Hoyd, looking around, you see the forest is teeming with wildlife. As you were further south, particularly toward Darnek, there wasn't a whole lot of wildlife interaction. Things were either skittish and stayed away from the human settlements, or just weren't there.
Oh, also,
Yep.
on the note of our new proficiencies, I took perception, so now my passive perception is 20.
Oh no.
Zook sees of.
I've created a monster.
And this is why you take the observant feat.
So, Hoyd, as you're looking out, you look out into this sort of wilderness area, and there's the animals that you expect to see. You see deer and some smaller animals toward the road, and if you look carefully out into the woods, you see, you can see the forms of predators. You see a mountain cat of some kind further away. Looking up into the mountain cliffs area, you can see quite some distance away these large winged forms. And you hear at one point during the day, you watch as a few of them leap down from their perch and dive into the trees, and then head back up to where they came from, dragging something with them. So there are creatures in this area that obviously are predatory. Most of them are a bit further away from the road, but you notice you're traveling in that direction as the Fortemps Villa is up further north. So,
Do I hear any of it, or just see it?
at this distance, yeah, you can hear them, this sort of distant screech as they, and if you focus really hard, because that was a good perception check. If you focus and you tell everyone to shut up and have the cart slow so you can actually hear them even at this distance, screeching to each other. Mainly because there's nothing between you and them. So. Let's see. What else? Your nature check? Yeah, who knows? Unfortunately, you were highly perceptive, and you were able to see that there were things around, and you were able to see that nothing was really posing a threat to you, apart from perhaps the predators that were some distance away. But who knows what they were, because you rolled a 2 on your nature check. Zook, throughout the day, you practice on your contact juggling abilities, and it goes pretty well, actually. There's one point where the wagon hits a bump and you drop it, but you manage to catch it. You stall it on your foot and flip it back up, and it's rather impressive for somebody who only just recently learned that this thing exists. So you do a good job with that. Let's see.
I should find a book on that. Do they write books on that? I'll have to go check a library. See if they got any books.
You should ask the one that went to college. Rurik, you are looking out, and you are relatively familiar with the flora in this area, so there are a few minor ingredients that you're able to spot, and if you'd like, you can hop out and take a few. I'll say, where's my dice? For the sake of your roll, it wasn't the best roll, but you are familiar with this area, so you did get, the DC was shifted a little bit as a result of that. But you found 3. I think we've been giving you like generic potion ingredient type things.
Yeah.
You've got 3 of those now. None of them are like those, I think they were the blue cap mushrooms that enhance an existing potion, but it's the beginnings of a number of different types of potion. There's sort of a generalized base.
Okay.
So you can use it to brew an awkward potion.
Yeah, it'll turn you into an awkward zombie. That was mostly for PK, but I'm glad someone else got it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I want to. I don't know if I'm glad that I did or I'm disappointed that I did.
You should be glad.
Do tell. What's it from?
It's a webcomic. I'll show you later.
It's a great web comic.
So traveling throughout the rest of the day, Shigun, are you? Oh, that's right. You're driving, so you're busy.
Yeah.
The day progresses, and you travel well. You don't seem to be attracting any untoward attention, at least not from what Hoyd can see. And you guys make camp on the side of the road in the evening.
Yeah. Seems fine to me.
Okay. So the day turns to evening. As you're getting further north, this is something that you're expecting, Rurik and Shigun, but the others, well, maybe Hoyd would be at least aware of this. The temperature's dropping fairly dramatically. In contrast to the lower latitudes you were at before, down in this area, the further north you go, the colder it gets, and the sun is shining. It's, I believe, the second or third month of summer at this point. So Prudence, you put your glasses on so you can stay warm. Good.
That's
Good.
right.
Perfectly valid. And as the day rolls over into night, is there any special prep that you guys do before bedding down? Larasa, throughout the day, is more or less just trying to take care of Guard to the best of her abilities. You gathered while you were at her home that she's not really good at this kind of stuff, but she's doing what she can.
I'll periodically check on her and offer what I can to help.
Okay. Yeah, she nods and she says it's appreciated. I don't think there's much we can do for him now, but thank you.
Would that I could do more, but until I can figure out how to reverse this, I'm afraid there's little I can do.
Yeah. If only.
At least he's not feeling cold.
Oh no. She kind of looks into the middle distance. Alright, so Hoyd, you have it puff up.
Wood, that is one of my favorite old-timey sort of constructions.
Oh, me too. I love it.
Okay. Prudence, you
Would that it were used more.
Prudence, you pop up the tiny hut, set your alarm just around it, and summon an unseen servant. I don't know what the unseen servant means in terms of the usual, so you may have to be a little bit more specific.
I think they're just like... that.
Does whatever. Oh yeah, helps, cleans up, help make tea. Yes, okay. That's the nice thing about having multiple spells that don't take concentration.
Oh.
Alright.
I think it's Death Note is typically crochet.
Let's see. So the day rolls into the evening. Who is going to be taking first watch?
I will take a watch. Maybe middle watch.
I'll also take a watch.
Okay, so Prudence takes first watch, Hoyd is second, and Zook is morning watch.
Okay.
Cool.
I'll take watch the next night then.
So each of you beds down for the evening. Prudence, go ahead and make a perception check. With disadvantage because you don't have dark vision. Okay, so you stay within the dome and you use Deer to scout out for you. Oh, that's right. I don't know why I keep thinking tieflings don't have dark vision. It's dragonborn and halflings and humans that don't have dark vision. And Earth Genasi.
It's everyone except Shigun has dark vision in this party.
Yeah, and I have a lightsaber, so it's okay.
All right, go ahead and make a
Copyright infringement.
Go ahead.
A laser sword.
Make a perception check using the Tressem's stat. 23. Okay. Sending Deer out to just sort of do a lazy wide circle around the dome, keeping an eye.
All Star
and an
Wars
ear
did
out.
was just modernize the concept of the flaming sword.
Keeping an eye and an ear out for anything really. There are, as you noticed before during the day. Yep. During the day, in the evening, the forest up here in the mountains is not quiet at all. There are so many sounds and movements. Nothing seems to approach directly toward the dome, but there definitely are a few animals now and then. Deer kind of not exactly flags them for you, but provides a special little focus on a few of them, small little critters that are sort of wandering up to the dome and sniffing it. As the night rolls over, you send her a bit further afield to potentially find one of those predators. In your, let's see, the time period that you're going to be in, Deer does not encounter any predators in this area, that at least none that she would consider to be something that you'd want to fight. She does manage to duck and hide from a few larger, there's a bear sniffing around, and at one point there's a wild cat that is asleep before she stumbles on it, but she manages to slip away. So the rest of your watch continues without incident.
Right. No.
You recall Deer, bring her back to the dome, and just before bedding down for the evening, you go and bother Hoyd to wakefulness. As everybody's talking about Digimon in the chat.
I didn't start it. Don't look at me.
Prudence, you go and you bother Hoyd to wakefulness, and Hoyd, you do what you do, and wake up. Of note, the inside of the dome is pleasantly warm, so it is not necessarily. It's not perfectly necessary for you to have a puffed up winter coat in the dome itself, which is nice to say the least.
I think he said it was the guise of one, but I don't know if it has the properties of it.
No, it's glamour, so it's not real.
Okay.
What's glamour? I'm very real.
End game.
Alright, so Hoyd, Go ahead and make a perception check for your watch period. As I conspicuously roll dice for absolutely no reason.
Oh, look at that, a 21.
Getting all our good rolls out of the way for whenever we do combat.
Make a whiz save, yep.
Yeah. As you look out, you see a pair of eyes. Make a wisdom. No. There are a couple of moments actually. You are watching. You don't. Unfortunately, you don't have the benefit of an advanced scout, per se. An advanced Fey Tressum scout, winged cat. There are a couple of moments where you see larger shapes shifting in your direction, and you sort of tense up for a moment, and looking out keenly, you notice, oh, it's just a bear. It'll be fine. And it gets bored and wanders off. What is... Oh, there's a wolf pack that's, there's probably 10 of these wolves that are wandering by, and a few stop and sniff around the edge of the dome and move on. The horses are a little spooked when that happens, but the wolves are not interested in them at the moment, or anything that's in the cart at the moment.
Do I get a good look at this bear? Is it like my bear?
Like your bear?
Yes.
Oh. Which bear are you referring to?
The bear that I dropped when I spoke to the Lawmaster the last time.
That's right. No, actually, the bear that you dropped was a brown bear. This farther north, they're more. You're getting into the range of grizzly bears, so it's significantly larger, but also significantly lazier. Anyone who's ever interacted with a grizzly bear can tell you, yes, they are absolutely very lazy, and they will certainly not chase you if you provoke them. No, don't do that. They'll kill you.
Excellent. Is it coming our way, or is this going away?
It sort of wanders over in your direction curiously, but isn't actually interested. It just hasn't seen anything like this before, and is having trouble comprehending what it is with its 2 intelligence. And it stiffs around a little bit, and
I will sit tight then.
The horses get spooked, as they do, and which spooks it back, and it kind of runs off, lumbering into the woods.
I will go over to soothe the animals.
Okay. You go and you soothe the horses. It's just for the hell of it. Make an animal handling check. This is more degrees of success than a success failure. So.
It's 14.
14. Okay, yeah, it's simple enough. At this point, you've been with these horses for some weeks now, and you're pretty familiar with how to calm them down. So. Alrighty. As your watch progresses, you see in the horizon. So to the east is the mountains. So the daybreak is a little weird. You can see the sky starting to redden a bit as dawn is starting to break, but you know it's time for you to head to rest and wake up. Is it Zook, I believe, for third watch?
Yep.
Alright, so you
Yes.
go. Yep, so you go and you.
I will wake him up by putting a little bit of damp moss on his face.
Okay. So you go out and you
That
pick
is
up a little bit of
rude.
damp moss and just right on one side of, like, very gently, just right on the side of your face.
And
it
then wake
takes
him
us-
up like nothing is wrong.
Oh, and then you wake him up.
Prestidigitate my-
So he gently kind of shakes you awake.
Wait,
You
what am
have
I-
moss on your face.
Did you close your website?
That means you're
I'm
not
going-
moving.
I'm going to
Get
clean
going.
It off. I'm going to clean it off my face and
Okay.
like prestidigitate my face to make sure that it's clean. And I'm absolutely confident that Hoyd did this.
All right. So you peel off the moss and press it to take the dirt off of your face. Give Hoyt a look, who is ignoring you and bedding down for himself.
At least it was moss and not like animal food.
Yeah, it could have been worse. He could have brought the bear back.
That's right. Zook, I found a friend. I found a mount for you.
All right. So, as you look out to your watch, go ahead and make a perception check of your own.
My passive is 20.
Okay, your passive would overrule in this case, but just to see if you get higher.
Okay, well, let's give it a try. Okay, I am now better at looking when I'm not trying.
Okay, so yeah, in this case, that was what, a 14? 14? Yeah, in this case, wait, you have proficiency in... Oh, right, because your wisdom's really low, that's why. I was like, how did you only get a +5? Because your wisdom... No, your wisdom is 14. Proficiency plus...
Yeah, that's a +2 modifier.
That's a +2.
And then +3 proficiency bonus.
That's right. You guys haven't leveled up yet, so you don't have +4 yet. That's right. Okay. Yeah, so in this case, your passive would override. The 20 would override. Your watch progresses. You're seeing of the same or similar to the ones that we saw before. You do notice, taking just a curious glance up toward where the winged forms were, you don't see them there. And sort of looking around and listening. Oops, if I can find it. Here it is. Ow, 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 ow. Sorry, that's my bad. Looking around and listening, you take notice of the horses and you notice they're getting a bit agitated. And about halfway, I'd say halfway-ish through your watch, you hear in the distance, and you hear these screeches start to get closer, and the sounds shift. It stops being like a bird-like screech, and you hear, you hear tones and sounds, almost a melody. And looking around, looking up, you can see silhouetted against against sort of this early dawn, pre-dawn, 3 figures just swoop overhead. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw, please.
Oh no.
And let me know what it is, because I'm away from the computer.
14.
14. You succeed. Very good. Which means you're now immune to that effect for the next 24 hours. So good for you. But you see 3 of these figures are more or less circling around above the dome. And you see a few of them and you see one of them start to edge a little bit more toward the horses. And the horses are displeased, to say the least. So in this case, I'm just going to get one more thing here, sorry. As you're watching this happen, are you doing anything?
I'm gonna try and scrutinize the creatures.
Okay, yeah,
I don't know if there's all that much I can do.
Well, looking up at them, you see that they are vaguely humanoid in shape. They have a pair of wings sprouting from their back, but otherwise their forms appear to be almost humanoid. And then you notice that their feet turn into these big claws, like birds' claws. their arms are by their sides, so you can't see what they are at the moment. And, oops, where is it? There it goes. And suddenly, one of them swoops down toward the horses, who both spook. And they start to sort of pull against the cart, but the cart's heavy, so they take a second to get a little bit of momentum. I need you to roll initiative, please. Nobody else is awake at the moment. And I need to switch from this to this. And get out my marker because, oh no, the little cup that I usually hold my markers in, the bottom fell out of it, and now I'm sad. Prudence, remind me of how big the dome is, please. I believe it's a 10-foot radius.
Do I know if Prudence cast Alarm?
He did. But Alarm, the creatures aren't passing into the space. They're passing, one, over it, and they're targeting something that's outside the space.
That's fine.
No, it's not. It's number 1 and number 2. We need to protect them.
Okay, my initiative is 15.
15, thank you. And go ahead and roll for the horses. Go ahead and roll a d20. And add 3, I think? Let me double
3?
check. No, it's 0. Add 0. So it's a d20 for the horses. They act on their own initiative. 5. Okay. So, you are positioned inside the dome. The others are prone inside the dome. Larasa is in the cart. So she is elsewhere. Let's see. This would be your cart. And I'm going to put, so this is Larasa, Gar's in there as well. And I'm going to use these 2 yellow markers to indicate the horses. They're bigger than that, but just for the sake of marking where they are. That's where they are. And coming up first in the initiative order, fortunately for you, is you.
Okay, I'm going to try and deliberately set off the alarm.
Prudence, did you specify Zook as one of the characters that would not trigger it? Yeah, Zuki would know this. That he specifies members of the party as being unable to trigger the alarm, so that he gets his sleep if you choose to step outside the dome.
Okay, I'm gonna like...
And here's 1, 2,
Is there like
3.
a squirrel nearby that I can just like grab with like my mage hand or something?
You could just yell to arms and get us to wake up.
I mean, I guess your passive perception, you can see. I mean, as these things were approaching, the small animals were like, booking it away. But yeah, if you take a step out of the dome, there's most definitely a squirrel within 30 feet that you can mage hand grab. But how far can you move the mage hand at one turn? On the turn that you cast it? Because I know you have mage hand legerdman, and that makes it a little different.
I'm looking that up. It doesn't state a range. So I guess we default to mage hand. Okay. You You can move it up to 30 feet each time you use it. And you can summon it at any point within range. You know what? You know what? I'm being too clever. Larasa's not gonna be alerted by the alarm anyway. So I'm just gonna, like, yell and wake everyone up.
Oh, what's going on?
Hello?
Are you flicking lights?
Hello?
Hello.
Hi.
He's there, you okay?
Yes, sorry. Yeah, I don't know if you saw the flashes of darkness there for a moment. I did actually turn off the lights, but my camera has low light compensation, so it doesn't do anything. Anyway, so Larasa's in the cart because she's in the cart with Gar, and she doesn't want to move Gar out of the cart if she can avoid it. So, that's why. Okay, so, Zook, what are you actually doing?
I've determined that I'm trying to be too clever, and that I'm just gonna yell to wake everyone up, because I need to wake up Larasa too, so.
Okay. So you go and you shout everyone to wakefulness. Everybody else roll initiative, please.
Alright.
You will be considered surprised for this round, because you just woke up, but... Oh, and I need to roll for Larasa. Silly me, forgetting that I have NPCs that can actually do stuff.
Oh no! I don't do.
You're going last.
Let's see. Okay.
Okay, you'll make up for it with attack rolls.
Alright, let's see. Hoyd is with his infant, so he'll be back. Prudence. You got a 25. Good lord. Okay. Rurik.
I got a 2.
2.
I got a rock.
Shigun.
No. Shigun got 22.
22. And Zook,
Yeah.
you had a 15, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
One of us could roll for Hoyd, unless he'd rather us not do that.
And the horses had a 5.
Well, he'll be surprised this round anyway, so it'll be fine until we get back up to the top of the initiative order, which is fine.
Fair, if I was just woken up, I'd be surprised too.
Zook, that's a shouting is a free action. Are you doing anything else this turn? Gar is asleep, like he's been asleep for the past month.
I don't think he has a choice.
Not really.
Oh,
no.
I missed. What time of day is this? Is this still in like the early morning, or
This is like pre-dawn.
pre-dawn? Okay. So it's still dark.
For the sake of this, you've got your long rest.
And any trees or something nearby?
Yeah, I mean, you're in a forest. There are a number of trees scattered around. I didn't draw them out, but there's... Well, let me draw some out. Where's my marker?
I'm gonna hide behind a tree.
You're nestled.
Nearby.
There's a copse over there.
I just thought it was a copse.
So, there's some trees. There's some tree trunks, anyway.
I'm gonna hide
Those of you
behind...
So, Prudence.
I'm gonna hide behind the tree trunk and also under the tree top.
So I neglected to expand. Anyone who was not on watch today has already gotten their long rest. Unfortunately, Prudence, you have not yet gotten your long rest.
I'm back.
Alright, I need you to roll initiative.
12.
Okay. So, Zook, what you doing with your turn?
I said I'm going to hide behind and under one of the trees.
Behind one of the trees.
Behind the tree trunk and under the treetop.
Okay, yeah, the treetops
woke
are
us up and then ran off. What's
like up
going
here,
on?
so... What's up? Okay, go ahead and roll stealth.
Oh boy. I just need to look this up. Okay. And I have...
It should just be included on the sheet.
I have expertise, I have to calculate it.
Alright.
Expertise.
21, good to know. Is that your turn?
Yeah, pretty much. I have no idea how to deal with these things.
Okay.
When the moon
Of
hits
note,
your knees,
yeah, I
you
didn't...
freeze,
let me
stick
see if
of
I can
more.
find... No, you stop that. You stop that right now. I'm gonna mark when these guys are up in the air. They are currently just above the tops of the trees, so they are currently about 40 feet up. This one here is about 20 feet up as it started to bank down toward the horses.
Ah, perk.
Okay, so now it comes to Hoyd's turn. Hoyd, you're surprised. End of your turn, you're no longer surprised. That's the end of your
Excellent. That's how I planned it.
turn. Larasa, it's Larasa's turn. She is surprised. End of her turn, she's no longer surprised. It is the creature's turns. So, the first one, sorry. The first one is going to dive and attempt to grapple the horse nearest to it. Yes. Fly 40 feet. So it will go and make a strength check. Ooh, that's awful. Let's see what the horse does. Holy moly, draft horses are strong. Yeah, it doesn't. It like clasps onto its back, but it doesn't lift off the ground. You see its wings flapping, and you see both of its clawed hands come out, almost like mimicking the wings flapping in an attempt to pull it up, but nah, that horse isn't going nowhere. The other horse is beginning to panic, and could potentially bolt.
Big and heavy.
Alright. Let's see. Scroll up a bit. Okay. That is the first one's turn. The second one is going to begin to sing that same sort of haunting melody. I need everybody to make a wisdom saving throw, please, including Larasa. Larasa succeeds.
Because I'm immune.
Except you, because you're immune.
Do you have proficiency on saving throws?
You can, if it's marked on your sheet.
Is it a charm effect?
Okay.
This is a charm effect, so as a half-elf, you have advantage.
Yay. Wisdom?
Wisdom, correct.
I'm so glad I had advantage.
Alright, starting at the top, Hoyd.
14.
14, you pass. Prudence.
Prudence rolled a 9.
Well, a 9. Ooh, okay. You are currently charmed.
Oh, good. Shigun rolled a 9 as well, so,
So, Rurik, you're also charmed?
no, Shigun is.
Shigun? Rurik.
Yeah.
What'd you roll?
I rolled a 20.
Yeah, because of course you did. You're a freaking cleric. And Zook, you're already immune. So, Shigun...
Yes, I have proficiency in wisdom.
Let's see.
He's fair.
Do I have that status effect anywhere? There's one of them.
You are a tanky boy.
I'm a tanky boy.
That means
Not
you have
the-
your fault. This is one of them.
Not the smartest, not the most wise. Alright, well, apparently I only have one charmed ring, which I would have thought I had more, but apparently I don't. So I'm going to use the grappled ring instead on Shigun.
That's fine.
It's not like you can read them anyway. Whatever. Okay, so you are currently charmed, and you are incapacitated.
How does charmed work again?
So I will. You see the. You can't attack the charmer, or target the charmer with any harmful abilities or magical effects. And because of this effect, you're also incapacitated, so you can't take any other action. Alright, so that's the second one is going to maintain that. The third one looks around and does not spot Zook, so it too is going to come around. So this one's actually here now, and this one is now about 20 feet up where it was before. And you hear a few more voices of these creatures coming from one side. You don't see them just yet. Actually, no, Zook, you would, because passive perception. You see 1, 2, 3 more coming in from the mountainside. They're those are
need some charming measures.
These ones are about 60 feet up.
Can I even do anything?
That is their turn.
I don't think so.
Let's see. Next in the initiative order would be the horses, who are surprised. They're no longer surprised. End of their turn. Rurik, you were surprised. You're no longer surprised. End of your turn. Back up to the top of the initiative order. Prudence. Okay, so you're incapacitated, but you also must use your movement to travel as close to the creature as you can. By the most direct route if you can.
Oh no.
So you stand, taking half of your movement, which is, you have a speed of 30 feet, right? And stepping over your compatriots, you go 5, 10, 15, and you're actually now directly below it. I've just moved you there, for the sake of having you there. And that's all of your movement. Let me see, is this something you repeat at the end of your turn? Yes, you can also repeat the saving throw at the end of your turn. So at the end of your turn, go ahead and repeat your wisdom saving throw. 21. You're no longer charmed. So I get to put the actual charmed ring on Shigun. Yay. What are they like? Well, they are humanoid figures. It's weird. You'd expect them to have like a bird-like face, but they don't. They actually have a human-ish looking face, or an elven almost fey-like face. They have this disgusting, scraggly brown and black hair coming down in sort of in mats over their shoulders, and they're all looking down at you with this. One of them's got this sort of almost dispassion, but the rest are looking at you hungrily and angrily. Do you know what they are? Roll a nature check. Probably. It's not a high DC, but... That's an 11? Yeah. You recognize these as Harpies. They are not particularly dangerous on their own, but when in groups like this, they can be a little bit more difficult to deal with. And I've put a picture of them in the Discord, the main channel.
Oh, fantastic. Oh goodness, I hate it.
That's about what I figured.
That's pretty much what I expected these were.
Alright, that is Prudence's turn. I just had to do a double take and make sure I didn't set down my notepad in view of the camera. Oops. That's Prudence's turn. Shigun, you are under the same effect. So you stand, and you move 5 feet, so a total of 20 feet. to be directly below it as well.
Okay.
And you can go and repeat your saving throw at the end of your turn.
Okay, wisdom.
Yep.
Oh boy. Does a 10 make it?
10's not enough. You remain charmed by the harpy. And you look up at this. You look up at this thing, and you're like, "Huh." You're just kind of looking up at it, almost in this sort of wonder. Let's see. What's
at least Prudence got out.
Yeah. Well, so Zook and Prudence are immune to that Harpies effect. Just as a heads up, that's the way this effect works. Next on the list, Zook.
A lot to keep track of.
Are you implying that there's 6 potential sources for this we have to contend with?
That's why we need some anti-charm knocks.
Who said that? Huh?
Oh, good. Great. Let's kill them quickly.
Zook.
I was already planning to warn everyone of hey, there's more of them.
Okay, so you shout
Also,
over, there's more. Because of course there are more.
What is number 1 there? Is that one is number 1
I'm
or
back
3
now.
of those close to the ground?
Number 1 currently has its claws dug into the horse's back, but couldn't work up the strength to actually lift it out off the ground.
Okay, I'm going to shoot at that one.
Okay. Roll an attack.
Okay. An attack is plus dexterity plus proficiency.
Usually.
That's a 20.
20 will hit. Go ahead and roll for damage.
And I have sneak attack, so...
And you do have sneak attack.
I'm not sure what their HP level
22 piercing.
22 points of piercing damage. Nice.
An aerial creature being struck by that would not enjoy it.
Oh, she's angry. You see the vaguely humanoid. You see the vaguely.
I assume it would stop being an airborne creature.
I mean, she's still upright. But you see the vaguely fey humanoid type face turns to look at you, and suddenly the features sort of sink, and you see these huge, massive fangs pulling out from her mouth, and her eyes sink in, and just this sort of black, beady expression as it hisses at you. Look in the Thursday channel. You'll see. Except they're wearing winter coats because it's cold, and they're not. And this is a family-friendly channel. Please don't demonetize me, YouTube.
Well,
okay.
I mean, okay, you can stay mad. I'm just gonna hide again.
Okay, you use your bonus action to hide behind the tree again.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and roll stealth.
18.
Okay, 18. Could be worse. In the 3.5 monster manual, they are just out on display. So, all right. That's the end of your turn. It is now Hoyd's turn.
Excellent.
Hoyd, you are currently prone. Oh, by the way, because Prudence was forced to leave the dome disappears.
Even better. That solves my issue. So, how high up in the air are they?
Ground level, just above the horse, 20 feet, 40 feet, 60 feet.
Okay. I am going to...
Hang on. I'm gonna put D10s next to them, indicating how high up they are. Well, I'm gonna put percentile dice. Anyway, you can continue on while I'm doing this.
So, on myself, I'm gonna stand up and cast Major Image.
Okay. What is the image going to be?
An adult green dragon.
An adult green dragon. Okay. Let me just finish fishing out the last of these percentile dice.
It's gonna be a mega intimidation.
I know you can't really see it, but it's really mostly just for me. So don't worry about it. That one's a ground level, so I don't need it. There.
Oh,
okay.
this will be great.
Let's see.
Hopefully they're just dumb enough to vote.
Your adult green dragon. Okay. No larger than 20-foot cube. Yeah, that's big enough. Completely real, including sound, smells, and temperature appropriate to the thing depicted. Okay.
Oh boy.
So you suddenly, out of nowhere, this massive dragon appears. Do you make it do anything?
Is that perceived or actual temperature?
I'm going to make it look around and roar, and cover me, as if I became the green dragon.
Okay, so like you're in one of its legs or something, so it's
Yes.
hiding you. Yeah,
Exactly.
They're big.
We call that clipping.
I have a question about
this
major image
is
if
how
you have a
big.
moment.
So it's the size of the dome, is what it was.
Oh man.
Um,
Hopefully it doesn't.
oh wait, no, it's,
Good thing it's not-
actually.
And I'm going to be having it
it's-
step around
Big enough.
Rurik on the ground,
Okay. Yep.
so not clipping him.
Yep. So you're fully encompassed within its body and/or leg. It's stepped over Rurik, and the rest of it, you've sort of maneuvered the illusion so that it's not intersecting anything.
That is really clever.
Okay, and the rest of you watch as this enormous dragon, vibrant green scales, long, thin, running from the tip of its, so that, like the arch between where its brow would be, down about halfway down its neck, and it forks right at the base of its tail, so it almost like two fins. Looks around. It growls and sort of stands almost protectively over the group. Okay. That is horrifying for them. Is that your turn?
That is my turn.
Okay, that's your turn. It is Larasa's turn. Larasa.
I still have a question.
Yep.
About major image. Like you said that it like, oh, you have the same temperature as the thing you're as the subject of the image. Is that like perceived or actual temperature?
It's illusory.
It seems.
Okay, so you
it's
can't like turn into something really hot and then like actually set something on fire.
No, it's
No.
explicitly mentioned in the spell. You can't create sufficient heat or cold to cause damage, a sound loud enough to thunder damage or deafen a creature, or a smell that might sicken a creature.
It just gives the presence of like overwhelming heat. Or
Right,
cold.
but the fact that this thing is here, that's what's terrifying.
Or elemental. Oh my god.
Yes, the fart elemental, also known as stinking cloud.
I'd say it's a broken wind elemental.
Larasa hops out of the cart, bow in hand, going, "What the hell did you guys do?" And will actually, ignoring the Harpies, will shoot an arrow at the dragon.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Because she rolls a 7 on her investigation check, which fails against your spell save DC.
Oh no.
It sails on through. What? And
It
that's her
simply
turn.
missed.
She actually hops right back into the cart. She's like, "Fuck this." Yeah, she didn't see that happen. So, all right, it is the Harpies' turns. I'm gonna roll 6. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna roll in order from 1 to 6 to see whether they successfully see through your illusion. What's your spell save DC?
15.
15. Okay. Well,
But I believe they have to use an action.
let's see. They do have to use their action to examine. So, let's see.
Man, that's a potent illusion.
I will say the 3 right near here will not bother and will panic and begin to run away. All of them are currently afraid. They are frightened, rather. This one
Which
will
one?
fly up to a height of about 20 feet. And we'll bring her about there. My other D percentile die here. This one will peel off and head over this direction, climbing to a height of 40 feet. Wow, these dice are invisible on camera. This one will cease its song, so Shigun, you're no longer charmed,
Yay!
and peel away off this direction. 20. Climbing to a height of 60 feet. The other 3 will maintain their height of 60 feet. Coming around. Oops. Here. And they will use their action to try and see through the illusion. So I'll go 4, 5, then 6. That's a 14, so no. 6. 12. No, no, and no. All 3 of them are currently frightened. But they wasted their
It's
movement.
a totally real dragon.
You guys, the dragon's totally real. Come on.
Oh, God.
And Prudence,
Okay, the
as
magic
just
dragon.
as Larasa's ducking back into the cart, you say, "Focus on the harpies," and you don't know whether she's heard you or not, but say that to her. Yeah, all of the harpies are currently frightened at their height of 60 feet.
Probably not for long, though.
Okay. Bearing in mind, this is something mechanically that I'm not going to remind you of too often. If they're within eyeshot of the thing that's causing them to be frightened, they have disadvantage on their checks and saving throws. So their future checks to investigate this thing are also at disadvantage. Just something to keep in mind. Okay, that's their turn, because screw all of that noise. Screw a green dragon. It is the horses' turns. The horses,
Oh, no.
not having their action to do anything else, roll a -1 and an 18. So one of them recognizes it as an illusion somehow, and the other one panics and begins to bolt. It alone can't pull the cart, but you see it straining against the tackle.
I like the mental image of one of the horses going, it's just Floyd.
You see it looking up like
You
the
again?
horse is like, nah, those reflections are super photoshopped. Nah, I'm not buying it.
No, sir, I don't like it. All right, that's their turn. Rurik, it's your turn. Fortunately for you. Yep.
Fortunately for me, what?
No, fortunately for you, there isn't currently a song going, so you wouldn't have to make a save against it or anything.
Oh, goody. Quick mechanic question. It's been a while since we've done combat, and I can't remember. Number of actions you're allowed is like one either non-cantrip spell and... Sorry, my bad.
Casting spells, multiple spells in your turn. So, if you cast a spell that has a casting time of a bonus action, you can only, if you use your action to cast a spell, it has to be a cantrip.
Right.
That said, it doesn't matter for you because you don't have it, but like a fighter has second wind, they can cast multiple spells in their turn because they have multiple actions. It's only if you're casting a spell with a casting time of a bonus action, such as Healing Word.
Gotcha.
Or Spell
That
Weapon.
sounds like a really broken multi-class.
You can you can't cast an action spell and perform a melee attack in the same turn, correct?
Correct, because they would both take your action. You can only
That's
get
what
one
I thought.
action.
Just wanted to make sure I was thinking that right. Would you consider attempting to calm the horses an action or like part of a movement?
I'd say that would have to be an action because you actually have to like stop and interact with them directly, and it's not an object interaction. It's an interaction with a creature. So
Pretty sure one is going to keep the other rooting in place for now.
Okay.
I am going to upcast Bless to affect everyone, including Larasa, other than me.
You can't see Larasa?
I can't?
No, she's in the cart. The cart's covered, remember?
Oh, it's a covered cart, right? Fuck.
We
Yes.
bought a cover?
But that said, you can still do that. You don't know where Zook is. Actually, what's your passive perception?
My passive perception is... Let me swap over. 15.
Yep, so you don't know where Zook is either.
Okay then, never mind. I will cast Bless.
You can regular cast it.
Like, it's fine. It's fine. Like,
Oh yeah, I guess technically you wouldn't be able to
missing out on
see...
buffs.
I see.
I'm
You
just
wouldn't be able
gonna.
to...
I'm just. Yeah,
So
I'm
you
just gonna
actually,
recast it.
you wouldn't be able to see Hoyd either, because he's completely obscured by the illusory dragon.
Wouldn't
at the
I know
moment-
he's there though?
You're aware that he's there, but it has to be, I believe, let me double check the wording of Bless, I believe Bless has to be a creature you can see. But I could be wrong. No, up to 3 within range. Yeah, no, you don't have to see them, so never mind. You know they're there, that's enough. So the one you wouldn't be able to do is Zook. The rest you know where they are.
Yeah, because I have no idea.
Range.
Like Zook teleported to Africa, as far as I'm concerned.
Well, see,
So yeah, I will.
Zook, you are in range, but he has no idea even vaguely where you are, so...
That's fair. I respect that.
So you could be out of range for all he knows. That's the problem.
All right. I am going to upcast Bless as a 2nd level spell
Okay.
and affect Hoyd, Prudence, Shigun, and Larasa.
Okay. So these 4 are blessed. They get to add d4s to their saving throws and attack rolls. Great spell.
Figured it would come in handy for massive potential for charming.
You're still prone, but you're concentrating, so it's okay.
Yeah. Am I able to stand or?
Oh yeah, yeah. You can take half your movement to stand.
Okay, yeah. I'll take my half my movement to stand. Oh, right,
You
the
have-
dome is gone.
Correct. The
Okay.
dome is gone. You do have 10 more feet of movement remaining.
I will move closer to the horses in
Okay.
in a calming manner.
5'10". That's as far as you can get.
And have to sit down.
Yes, and you take it the rest of your movement to sit back down again now. Okay. Coming back around to the top, Prudence. It is your turn.
Decimate everything with fire.
You move a fireball, the easternmost Harpies. Alright, so that's 2 and 5 here. Who are, yeah, they're both at a height of 60 feet, so. I'll guess it's a 4th level. Oh boy. Hang on 1 second.
Oh, you can make it look like it came from the dragon. Oh, that would be brilliant.
Let's see. Yeah, range is 150 feet, so you can easily do that. Okay.
Like time it
So-
so the dragon turns around and just.
Coordinating with Hoyd, you like give him you look vaguely in his direction and point, and Hoyd, you gather what he means. The illusion sort of turns in place slightly. Not a lot, he can't do a whole lot when it's not his turn, but slightly the head kind of turns and it makes a motion as a small bead of light detonates between 2 and 5. Go ahead and roll your damage as they make their dexterity saving throws. Good.
Oh, he already rolled damage.
Oh no. What does he roll?
A lot.
39.
39. Good lord. Okay, let's see.
Fireball is
Dexterity.
insane.
Let's see. What's your spell save DC? Remind me. 15. Thank you. Nope. That's a 4 and a 9. So they both fail. They both take 39 points of damage. Let's see. That is 2 and 5. Yeah, they both, oh man, are incinerated. You just see bits of ash and bone and scorched feathers flutter to the ground.
Others, I don't know what will.
How intelligent are harpies?
To borrow a phrase from Randall Monroe, they stopped being biology and started being physics.
There. I'll show you their stat block when this is over.
Okay.
Yeah, so that just demolished those two. Okay, anything else this turn? Or is that it? Move west toward the other Harpies. Okay. So, your full movement?
My God, yeah,
Yes, sir.
did.
Okay. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You're now pretty much in between all of them. And you hold up your hands in like the honey badger sort of like get at me sort of pose. You're T-posing to assert your dominance. Okay. That is your turn. Next up, we have Shigun.
Okay. So,
You shake your head clear of the song of the harpy.
yeah. I don't have dark vision, so that sucks. But I'm gonna get my.
It's so it's dim light. It's not total
Dim
darkness,
light?
but it is dim light because the sun's coming up. So
I
at least
suppose the
you,
explosion probably helped illuminate a little bit.
Yeah,
more.
there was
Well,
a fireball.
if anything, the explosion knocked out your your night vision there for a second, but you're okay.
Well, I'll at least activate my Sunblade. How high is
Mhm.
Harpy number 6? The one that's closest to me.
They're 60
Yeah.
feet up.
It's 60. Oh, so it's way the fuck out of range.
Yeah. These two are 60 feet up, 4 and 6. 3 is 40 feet up, and 1 is 20 feet up.
Okay. Let's see.
Because trigonometry.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm still stuck on the 5, 10, 15 movement on corners.
Oh, is it out of the range of the ring?
Yeah, Ring of the Ram has a 60-foot range, so if they're 60 feet up, I can't hit them no matter what.
You can get directly below it, or you can move and try and hit another one.
Yeah. I will maneuver underneath number 6.
Okay. So, yep. 5,
Yeah.
15, and then just for the sake of this, I'll say you're directly below it. That's fine.
Yes. And I'm going to use my Ring of the Ram,
Okay.
and I'm going to expend... I'll expend 2 charges on it. That won't
Okay.
affect the attack roll, that only affects the damage.
It affects the damage. Yep. Go ahead and make the attack
Mhm.
roll.
It's going to be a d20 plus 7. 17 hit?
You can take a plus 1d4 thanks to Bless.
Yes.
Oh, that is a thing.
Sure, but a 17 will still hit. So.
Oh, okay. That works.
So it's going to be...
Yeah. Go ahead and roll your damage. Your ridiculous amounts of force damage.
That's 2 charges, so that's going to be 4d10 worth of damage.
Oh no.
27.
27.
Oh boy,
Let's
man.
see. Okay. You looking up into the air, like feeling annoyed because you're so far down. You punch upward, and the spectral ram launches out, and it slams into the harpy from below. And you see it actually pushes it up a good 3
Yeah.
feet.
It's got 5 feet of knockback, so...
Yep, and it's knocked 5 feet upward, straight upward. And
I'm-
you see the wind's knocked out for a second, and it's barely holding on. It's still up in the air, but it's barely holding on.
I like to imagine you did the twirly and then fucking Leon pose from Sword and Shield.
No, you stop. I swear to God. If either of you are going to Everfree, I'm specifically bringing a newspaper to just...
It would be worth the. It would be worth the trip.
Alright, is that your turn? The bonus action to ignite the Sunblade. Anything else? Are you going to move at all? Any further than you already have?
Oh, yeah, this is the Beast King.
I will turn my Sunblade on to max brightness if I can, just to ensure that I have enough light.
Okay, yeah, you can control it. I believe it's 30-foot radius. It's 30-30 with you know what? Because it's at the edge of that range, it's in dim light, it would be at disadvantage. Go ahead and roll one more attack roll, just to be sure. And you can add your D4 from Bless. I forgot about your human weaknesses.
Okay, yeah, I will go ahead and roll my... Yeah, I'll roll the attack roll, then I'll add a D4 to that.
Okay. Okay, 22 still hits. 26 hits, so yeah, you're fine. I would have been surprised if you missed. You would have had to roll a 2. And then and then your you would have you would have had to roll a 1 and then a 1 on the D4, which wouldn't have mattered. So, yeah, you literally could not have missed.
Good to know.
But just in case, who knows? Maybe it would have been a critical. Oh no, it wouldn't have because it was disadvantage. Anyway, my mind is just fried right now. All right, that's your turn, Shigun. Zook, you are up.
By turning on your Sunblade, you're like, the freaking Harpies are going to be like...
Okay, the chance of rolling a 1 on both dice is a 1.2%.
Unfortunately, that's not 0, so I don't want to tempt fate.
Anyway, as far as my turn... Okay, so, you see that, like, Harpy that's, like, flying past me? Like, number 3?
Yeah, 3 is currently going away. It's at a height of 40 feet.
I'm gonna shoot it.
Okay.
But...
Remind me, what kind of crossbow do you have? Doesn't really matter that much, but...
You can't really do much at range.
Oh no, you have a bow, so it doesn't matter. Never mind then. Go ahead.
Yeah, I
and
have a
make your
short
attack roll.
bow, yeah.
Yeah, that range is fine. Go ahead and make your attack roll.
Okay.
And Prudence, you would know the answer to that is usually yes.
15.
15 hits. Go ahead and roll 4 damage with your sneak attack. No, not with sneak attack. Yes, with sneak attack, because you're coming from stealth. That's right. Also, because you're coming from stealth, go ahead and roll again to see if it's critical. Roll your attack again, just in case.
Friendly neighborhood green dragon.
I don't think I get advantage in this circumstance, but okay.
Because you're coming out of stealth, you would. And it doesn't know where you
Attacks
are.
from stealth have advantage?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
It didn't matter. But either way, just to be sure. Okay, go ahead and roll your damage with sneak attack. This was on 3.
26.
26.
Big damage. Is it the same one you shot at before?
I don't think so.
Okay. It is not. It is still flying. Yeah, as long as it's not another concentration spell, sure.
Perfect.
At the very least, we're picking them up.
Okay, anything else this turn, Zook?
I'm also gonna hide.
Okay,
the joint gambit between Hoyt and Prudence was amazing.
You duck behind the tree again and hide again. Go ahead and roll for stealth.
14.
Okay. Next up is Hoyd.
Excellent.
Oh boy.
Wait, did that?
How far is the farthest one?
Did the attack kill it? What did the attack do to the Harpy?
It hurt it. It hurt it a lot. It's not dead, but it's hurt.
How far away is the farthest Harpy?
The furthest one from you?
Or from the dragon, specifically?
That would probably be 1 over here. 20 feet up and 30 feet away. 35 feet away.
So 60 covers it?
Yeah, it's within range of 60 feet.
Excellent. I'm going to make... Yep, I'm going to make the dragon turn toward it. Glare at it, and I'm going to cast a 4th level Dissonant Whispers at it.
Oh god. Okay, I've cast a 4th level. That's a Wisdom
15.
Throw? Okay.
I'm not sure what bard spells do. I just like hearing Hoyt describe them.
Oh, they oh boy, they fuck you up.
So
no!
This one.
That's an
what?
8.
Oh, excellent.
Man, I love hearing Hoyt make that noise.
So go ahead.
So this
roll
dissonant whispers
5d6 psychic.
66.
No, 66. That's right. It's 4th level. So go ahead and roll your 6d6.
What does it do?
Oh no.
At 16 damage, which is low.
Oh, that's a very low.
That's
That's a poor roll.
Awful roll.
I mean,
Yes, it is. However, what I want it to do
Nonetheless, you.
is I want it to break its brain in fear.
Okay. Oh, that's right. It would have had disadvantage on the save anyway, but it
Yep.
doesn't matter. It moves as far away as its speed allows from you. So, here's what happens. You command the illusory dragon to turn, and as you force the psychic whispers into its mind, you see its head kind of cocked to one side and its eyes sort of glaze over, and it just biffs into the ground. It had 10 hit points left.
Perfect.
fantastic.
So
I'm so glad I upcast it because I don't know if I would have done enough damage otherwise.
you would have done exactly enough damage if we take the last die off, but yes.
Right.
Okay. Anything else this turn?
Can I make the dragon roar at the others? Do I have enough time?
Yeah, I'd say
Or
you can
just
do
be
that.
menacing to the others?
It won't necessarily do anything because they're already frightened, but yeah, they can.
That's fine. For flavor.
Isn't roaring a free action?
Roaring a free act out of context, indeed.
All right. Anything else this turn?
No, my triumphant Godzilla has killed one thing.
You're Godzilla. Okay.
That smells great.
They don't have
Cool.
cello, I
It
can't
is
think of
Larasa's turn, and Larasa hops out from the cart again, bow drawn. Did hear you, Prudence. She goes, but I believe the dragon's actually in the way, so she's gonna go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 to just get the dragon out of its way, and she. Let me see if I can double check. Is this the spell that I gave her? It is not. I wanted her to cast something fun, but nope, no such
Counterspell?
thing. No.
Finger of death?
She
A nothing.
Yes, finger of death. No. She is going to cast Hail of Thorns at 3rd level. And then attack 6, the furthest... 3, the furthest one away at the moment, with her longbow. And... yeah, that's a 19. So that hits. So as you watch as she mutters, and you see these sort of like almost rose thorns spring out from the arrow as she releases it, and it strikes into the harpy. And there's this burst of it's hard to tell at this distance, but you just see this cloud of something that slams back into the creature. So it takes, she casts it at 3rd level, so it takes 3d10. Oh, it has to make a dex save. Make a dex save with disadvantage. Oh shit. That's a 16, so it actually succeeded, so it takes half damage. But that's fine.
Oh, it made it 16 even with disadvantage? That's impressive.
Yeah, I rolled. The other one was a 20, so.
Cool.
So it takes. Let's see, 10, 16, so it takes 8 points of piercing damage plus the bow, so it takes. Terrible rolls. 13 points of piercing damage. Rolled a 1 on the damage die for the longbow. Awful rolls. That was number 3 I did that to. Oof. You see it, as it's reeling from this attack, it's barely clinging on. You can see it has feathers starting to fall off, and it is in full-on panic mode now. That's the end of her turn. Coming to the Harpies. all of these Harpies are gonna get the hell out of here, because fuck all of that. This one's gonna use its movement and action to dash away. So it's gonna move 80 feet straight away, back in the direction they came. Is that even on camera? It's just barely on camera.
On camera.
This one's gonna do the same, at a height of 60 feet. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. This one the same, 10, 20, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, which I think is just off camera. Yeah, it's just off camera, so I'm gonna put the die here just to indicate that there's one just off the camera there. Yeah, that's the end of their turn, because they are really, really terrified. And you killed 3 of them, so... Okay. Next is the horse's turns. The panicking horse is going to use his action to check with disadvantage. Oh, look at that! Rolled an 18 and a 20. Good for it. Well, that brings it down to a 16, but that's enough. So, it now is at least uneasily aware that the dragon is not real. So it's still frightened. It's still not like status effect frightened, but it's still scared. It's just not panicking and trying to bolt away anymore. That's its turn. Rurik. The other one's not going to do anything on its turn. It hasn't been commanded to move, so. Rurik.
There aren't any other Harpies in range currently. They all booked it.
Yeah.
See.
There are these 3 that are about, let's say, 100 feet away in a straight line, and then there are the 3 bodies that you killed.
I don't really see anything else that needs my immediate attention, so I'm going to go and attempt to calm the horses, even though they're not freaking out at the moment. But I figured they could use some attention.
Okay, go ahead and make an animal handling check.
I also just want to be nice to horses because I like horses.
Didn't one of them get clawed in the back?
Did they?
Yeah,
right,
yes,
they
this
did.
one of them
got
clawed in the back.
I wouldn't expect intend, or I would intend to the horse that was
due
clawed.
to what it was doing, I didn't have it deal damage, but it is injured.
I would just tend to that with basic medical stuff.
Okay, so which do you do first? Because you can only do 1 on this turn.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking that those would be like the same thing. First I would just attempt to like calm them.
Okay, make an animal handling check. If we were out of combat, I'd be like, yeah, that's fine. You can do both. But since we're in combat,
That's fair.
And that's why I'm scared that we're still in combat, even though the monsters are 100 feet away.
You're right.
One of you has spells that can reach. 2 of you have spells that can reach that far.
Mm-hmm.
No, I do.
That's a fair point.
That's 3 of us then.
12.
12. It's enough. It's not great, but they are calming a bit. As I mentioned, they're not quite as panicked as they were before, but you're definitely helping. You're doing a good job soothing the horses, I guess. Okay, anything else this turn? Or is that all?
Nope, that's it for me.
Okay, back up to the top, Prudence.
Harpies may be fleeing, but now we are the combat continue.
Can you shoot all 3 with 1 fireball? Let me double check. It is a 20-foot radius, or is it a 15-foot radius? 20-foot radius? And then 20 feet up. I'll say yeah. If you point at the center, it'll catch the other 2. Yeah.
Man, I didn't realize Fireball had that much range. Man.
Oh yeah, no.
Fireball?
This is Fireball's range.
Fireball's the best spell in the game.
Upcast to 4th. Okay.
Let's see. Anything on fire.
I'll go in
Doesn't
order.
matter. It's not our woods. Oh wait, it's your woods.
2, 3, 4, then 6. So 3 rolls an 11, 4 rolls a 16, and 6 rolls a 14.
One of them made DC at least.
So 4 succeeds, the other 2 do not, and take 38 damage.
30, rolls a 38 and then a 39 for damage rolls. Prudence is doing great this run.
Alright.
She might be. He's on fire.
So 3 and 6, you see them disappear in a similar flash of bone and viscera.
He's like,
Prudence's vanity glasses suddenly become sunglasses because he's too freaking cool.
He just pushes them up the bridge of his nose. I knew this would happen. And
No, like he's not even looking at it.
the last one is struggling real hard. So 5, 10. What am I doing? Sorry. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. You don't have 40 feet of movement. What am I doing? Alright, that's as far as you can get this turn. Is that your turn? Okay, that is your turn. Shigun.
oh boy. Do you happen to know the range of a light crossbow?
I can look it up. Is it not on your sheet?
I had it written down, but then I took it off because I thought, oh, I'll never be shooting anything that far away.
It's 80 feet standard range, 320 feet long range, so you can make an attack with it. It'll be at disadvantage.
Okay. I can't hit it with my ring, so I will
No, it's
attempt
a little too
to.
far away.
Yeah, I will go ahead and attempt to make a shot with my light crossbow with a disadvantage. You said.
Okay, yeah, I'll allow it. You're close enough to where your bag would be. You quickly reach into your bag and pull out the light crossbow, which you've never used.
We have used it once.
You used it once.
Maybe.
You
Yeah.
used it once against Dib's Fortress. That's the last time you used it. And you go and you fumble a little bit. It's you're not used to it, but you do manage to get it in. Go ahead and make an attack roll with disadvantage. Oh, you did. What was that?
23.
23. Okay, go ahead and roll for damage. Remember to add your
Man, I
dexterity
use less
modifier.
and no one needs it.
Only a 7 for damage though.
Only a 7. That's okay. It had 5 hit points. And like
It's enough.
lining up the shot, you carefully
Take the shot!
Choo! You watch as the bolt strikes it and it crashes down into the forest some distance away.
Nice.
As conveniently the music begins to fade away.
According to my inventory, that was my third shot with my crossbow.
Third shot. Okay.
Yes, I have 17 bolts left, apparently.
Okay.
So now I need to find out the mystery of the missing shot.
All right. So as
Are you satisfied, Prudence?
as you guys come to the end of your combat session here,
Woo.
you all kind of look around at each other. Hoyd, do you keep the dragon up?
Only for a more minute or two.
Okay.
I will
think-
continue tending to the horses, calming them, and tending to the one's wounds.
I am going to take a nap.
I want to make sure that there's nothing else around us while they have the dragon up.
Okay. Yeah, so Prudence, you go and you I'm just going to vaguely move you. It doesn't really matter that much. Prudence goes and reestablishes the dome. Larasa heads back into the cart. It's a little weird seeing the dragon intersecting with the dome, but you gather with its very presence is keeping things away. So, Hoyd, you keep it up for a moment or two. Okay, well, not the ones you incinerated, but yes.
There's at least one corpse.
There's, I think 3 of them were not incinerated. No, 2 of them were incinerated. Sorry, what am I saying? 2 of them were not incinerated. 5 of them were.
I have something once the area is clear.
Wait, no. That's not how math works. There were 6 of them. Anyway, my brain's fucked right now.
You doing alright?
I'm doing oh, it's because you hit 5 of them. That's why. That's what threw me off. You hit 5 of them with a fireball. You killed 4 of them. The other 2 were shot. One with a regular arrow and the other with a crossbow bolt. Anyway.
Not a single one of us took a point of damage.
Nope.
Good.
That might be the best combat we've ever done.
Because
Flying enemies will fear us.
because one of you decided to make them fear you instead of letting them charm you. So, good call.
I mean, it was a great idea.
You know the old adage, talk shit, get hit. And that's literally what happened.
Yeah, they fucked around and they found out.
Mhm.
Okay, so Prudence, you reestablish the dome, and almost before Prudence hits his bedroll, he's out. The rest of you take a moment to, de-stress from the fight.
Detox.
Yeah.
I do have something as the dragon dissipates.
Okay. Hold that thought, Rurik. Go ahead and make a medicine check just to tend to the horse. Hoyt, what's up?
As I dispel the major illusion, I want to make sure Larasa is seeing this, or at least sort of paying attention. I want the dragon to dispel and come down into me, as if I was that dragon.
Okay. So you you get Larasa's attention before she goes back into the cart, and using your image, you modify it just at the end as your
And actor if I need to.
That's right. 1 second to double check that.
That was a fun combat.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. I'll say actor counts here. Go ahead and make a deception check.
Okay.
With advantage. I'll say actor applies here. You're trying to pass off as someone not yourself.
Not very well. It's a 13.
13? Alright. She is gonna make a... What would this be? Insight check versus you. She got a 13. So in this case, you're setting the DC, so she beat it, but barely. There's a second where she's like, what? Hoyd, come on.
That would have been awesome.
You can apply... Oh, no, it's not a saving throw. You can't apply Bless.
Can you apply negative bless?
No. There is such a thing as edge dice, but anyway, as the sort of combat winds to a close, you guys finish up. What did you get, Rurik, on your check?
17.
17? That's more than enough. You're able to successfully tend to the horse. It does take one use of your... I believe you have a healer's kit, I think, from years and years and years ago. This would take one use of that. I think they have, 10 uses? I forget. It's in the description.
I'm honestly not sure what item you're talking about.
It's one of the items I believe a cleric starts with, a healer's kit.
Yeah, it's part of their default something or other.
Either way, we can. It's not that important. We can go over that later.
We can work it out later. I don't have it noted in my sheet, so we'll get it later.
Oh no!
You're right. It has 10 actions or 10 uses.
Okay. Anyway, the rest of you find your way back to sleep for whatever time you have left. Whatever time you have left to go to sleep. Before dawn breaks and the day begins. I'm not doing super hot right now, so I'm actually going to call it there. I know it's an early session, so I apologize.
That's fine. I mean, if you're not feeling well, that is what it is.
No wonder you were all up in fireballs.
Yeah.
I figured that was it.
I'm just glad none of you summoned anything. There's a reason I deliberately ignored deer during this fight. So we are going to pick this up 2 weeks from now. On the 24th of June, we play at 7 o'clock Eastern. I'm also running a Monday game that's running this Monday, the 14th of June. They start at 6 Eastern. So, although the Thursday might be moving because reasons, but we'll find that out later. As always, where is YouTube? There's YouTube. As always, thank you guys for coming and watching, and thank you guys for coming and playing tonight. Have a good night.